So my name is Alex Narvey, and welcome to my talk, 30 Years in 5 Minutes, where I'll discuss techniques that have kept my solo consulting practice healthy and profitable over the last 30 years. Slides will be available from precursor.ca/slides. So I must confess that I'm addicted to MacDevOpsYVR. You may remember me from such other MacDevOpsYVR presentations as these. If you've seen any of them, you know that I jokingly refer to what I do as Mac Mini DevOps. If I may toot my own horn for a minute, I've been a solo Apple consultant for 30 years. And if those annual surveys of IT industry salaries can be trusted, I've been in the top 5% of earners for the last 15 years. You can probably tell I've been around because of the gray hair, but in case you don't believe me, here's my press release from 1994 announcing Precursor Systems. This was long before the Apple Consultants Network, so I joined something called the Apple Canada Gold Club, and they sent me a rainbow Apple pin, which I'm wearing today. Anyway, this is supposed to be a quick talk, so I'm going to blaze through 10 guiding principles that have helped me through the years. Rule number 1, not everyone is my customer. This is the hardest rule of all to learn, so you should start with it. Some customers are not worth having, and the sooner you learn to say and believe this, the sooner your business will be healthy. Another thing you need to get straight early on is rule number 2. Customer service skills are more important than technical skills. Customers have no idea what technical hocus pocus or voodoo you are providing, but they can smell poor customer service a mile away. Give them great service and they'll retain you forever. You need to be calm and confident in front of your clients. So rule number 3 is, I am worth what I say I am worth. Don't be shy. If you don't believe this, then no customer ever will. It may seem obvious now in these days of online payments, but 30 years ago it was common practice to send out invoices for 30, 60, or even 90 days to collect. But right from the get-go, my motto has been rule number 4, why send an invoice when you can send a receipt? I made my customers sign pre-authorization agreements, and I not only control how much I get paid, I control when I get paid. Rule number 5. Now let's get this one straight once and for all. Hour is a 4-letter word. The value I offer does not get higher as the minutes climb. In fact, it's an inverse to that. So I don't want to get into any conversations with clients about hourly rates. If they insist on this, then they are clearly not my customer. See rule number 1. Clients are mystified at first when I say this, but they soon understand rule number 6. You are not paying to see me. You are paying to not see me. See rule number 5. Hour is a 4-letter word. This one seems obvious, but I'm surprised at how many small shops don't follow rule number 7. Standardize your tools and leverage open source. You only have so much time, so much expertise, and so much money to spend on tools. So apply the same methods and equipment across each client. I love using Blue Sky, DEP Notify, install applications, Monkey and Monkey Report, and I've used APIs to integrate them with Watchman and Zendesk and Trello and FileMaker. And I've spoken about these techniques at previous MDOYVR events. Don't be fooled by rule number 8. Not everything is billable. You don't have to charge for everything, but you should make the client aware of the value of everything. So send a bill for things you're throwing in, like pickup and delivery, and then comp it as a premium customer discount. This is almost a subsection of rule number 1, not everyone is my client, but rule number 9, 80% of your headaches come from 20% of your clients. So why not cut that 20% loose and focus on the 80%? You'll be happier, more efficient, and more profitable. Rule number 10, rules were made to be broken. Sometimes market conditions mean you may have to temporarily compromise, and that's okay. Ask yourself, what would you be willing to do to keep an annual income coming in for 10 to 20 years? Sometimes you have to go the extra mile, and it's much easier to keep a customer than to find a new one. So that's my presentation, 10 simple rules that have served me well for 30 years. But it's also the 10th anniversary of MacDevOpsYVR. And while most of my business practices were sorted out long ago, my technical practices owe a great debt to this conference. At my first MDO, Matt had the guys from Google presenting on how they added 100,000 Macs to the organization over a year. And at the end of that time, they were still maintained by the same 11 guys. And I thought, gee whiz, I must be holding it wrong. That's when I really rolled up my sleeves and started working with the open source tools that are so often discussed at this conference. So thank you to Matt Xavier for 10 great years of MacDevOpsYVR. Matt, you're a great community builder, and I owe you a great debt. Let's have a big hand for Matt X. So thanks for listening. Hope you found this useful. You can do a 5-minute quick talk too.